Oh hi, welcome to day 1 of Spooktober, which, if I actually release this right, should be on October 13th. Since I do spookier themed videos for October, well, spookier sci-fi fantasy themed ones, this video I want to talk about 5 monsters we're going to see in season 2 of The Witcher. And no spoilers for season 2, besides the monsters we'll see, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, you're okay.
By the gate. If anyone other than me leaves this place, ride for your life.
What's happening?
There's a Abrexa in the house.
What? What are you doing? What's going on, Geralt?
Move. Now.
Number 1, we are definitely getting an Eyehead. We kind of knew that with the Monster Mash tease, and they're not too frightening as long as you just leave them alone. I feel like that's most animals. An Eyehead has a segmented body, eyes mounted on stalks, and 4 pairs of thin legs. As you can see from the released image, they look like dead logs, so it's really easy to mistake them for something else. They are incredibly fast and can hear with their entire body, so if you're thinking that, oh, I'm gonna be super sneaky, these things aren't gonna hear me, they're gonna hear you. However, there is no antidote for their venom, so if you do something to scare them, startle them, encroach on their territory, they think you're a threat at all, they're surprised, I know I've said the same words for the same thing, and they bite you, you're gonna die painfully. No one's going to save you. And I think this is going to be a learning experience in season 2 between Geralt and Ciri, with him pointing out to her, hey, that's an Eyehead, and teaching her about it and going, you need to be careful and aware of your surroundings when you're going anywhere, because there are creatures that won't attack you necessarily because they're aggressive, but just because you scared them and you got into their space. Number 2, we are going to see a Banshee. And a Banshee isn't necessarily something you have to be terrified of. It's more something that if you hear it, then you should be terrified. A Banshee is a female spirit most likely to have burning red eyes, being deathly white with wrinkled corpse-like bodies, tears streaking down their face, and having tattered, dirty clothing hanging from their body. While their exact nature is still debated and guessed about, it's said that a woman struck with just tragic events in her life, or a tragic death, once she dies, gets stuck between life and death and becomes one. A Banshee itself isn't a bad thing, but if you hear their cries on Samhain, which is the beginning of the new year in the Witcherverse and typically the end of October or early November, you're going to die. Not because they're going to kill you though, so don't worry about that. They're more just telling you your time will be up soon. Some say it is going to be that night, while others say it's just letting you know sooner rather than later you're going to die. Obviously, we're all going to die at some point, but it's like in a short amount of time, okay? You get what I'm saying. So if you see and or hear one, that's not good for you. I'm very sorry. And I bet Geralt or another Witcher hears a Banshee in season 2, and then either that Witcher dies or Geralt's all freaked out. Number 3, 𝐿𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑛. We know 𝐿𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑛 for sure is going to be in season 2 just because they've been talking about it nonstop, and we actually got it in the animated movie following Vesemir, Nightmare of the Wolf. 𝐿𝑎ℎ𝑖𝑛s are super terrifying. You don't want to fuck with them. First, because look at them. That is terrifying. And if you don't think it's terrifying, you are a dirty liar, and I don't trust anything that comes out of your mouth. While in our world there was a belief that 𝐿𝑎ℎ𝑖s guarded the woods and could both help and hurt humans, in the Witcherverse, they're just horrific monsters. While it does typically just stay in the forest, it is highly intelligent and is incredibly dangerous to those that venture into its territory. In fact, it's said they only live to kill. Fun! Though when they do kill you, they'll devour most of you, so they're not wasteful. So if that's important to you, Also, it can shapeshift into anything, like a little girl, and then shank you. So if you see any little girls, avoid them and assume that they have a knife. and they're gonna shank you. I pray they don't have the ability to summon crows and wolves like they do in the games, because I don't need to have those type of nightmares. Number 4, this one isn't too excited. It's a Myriapod. Just imagine a centipede. There you go. They are scary because they are giant centipede creatures, and they're pretty testy. They will absolutely try to kill you. They're aggressive, they're predatory, and they're venomous. So if you see one of these, just avoid it, or don't get bit by it. Number 5, I saved this for last. Those of you that are my dearest grandchildren, subscribers on this channel, know why, because you guys are mean and you know my deep fear of vampires. Abrexa will be in season 2 of The Witcher. We are definitely seeing Abrexa in season 2 of The Witcher. Abrexa is a very, very powerful type of vampire, actually a higher vampire that can actually go out in the sun. So double the terrifyingness because not the typical weakness of a vampire. While its natural form is a large bat with very scary big claws, it often takes the form of a young woman with dark hair. She wore a trailing white dress, had glossy black hair falling to her shoulders that seemed to always be tangled, a pale face with black and enormous eyes, tiny hands so pale they looked transparent, and when she ran, she was like a white streak. But if they appear to you as a small pale woman, don't let their appearance fool you. They are agile, strong, have piercing screams that can send you flying, a hiss that can shake your bones without even moving their lips, and also they can give you terrible nightmares to bend you to their will, so that's not cool. Yeah, and watch for Geralt's horse Roach to be freaked out in the show. That's a good sign that Abrexa is nearby, and I'm about to start covering my eyes. Oh yeah, and if you hear one singing, they just drank blood. So they might be full if it's singing, so maybe they won't kill you. They'll probably kill you. Okay, that is 5 monsters we will see in season 2 of The Witcher, or I'm pretty sure we will see in season 2 of The Witcher. Hopefully you enjoy all the days of Spooktober. Like, subscribe, come back for more sci-fi fantasy videos.